in Fox News.
I'm Wild Young, and this is the TMZ Minute. 50 Cent is headed to Las Vegas for his first ever residency, and TMZ has learned that he will make millions for the Sin City gig. The rap mogul has locked down a massive $15 million deal for a series of 6 shows at PH Live inside Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. We're told the residency, which will be one of the largest hip-hop residencies ever, will kick off in December, with one of the performances being an exclusive New Year's Eve celebration. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce packed on the PDA while at a New York Yankees game in the Bronx Monday night. The power couple sat in the suite at Yankee Stadium watching the Yanks play the Cleveland Guardians in Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. Taylor and Travis were joined by comedian Gerard Carmichael in the suite, and everyone appeared to be having a good time. Bow Wow is facing some backlash following an interview in which he said he misses going to parties thrown by Sean Diddy Combs. Bow Wow complained that the BET Awards in June and the most recent BET Hip Hop Awards didn't feel right because there were no Diddy soirees, adding, quote, "There was nowhere to go." However, not everyone is happy with Bow Wow's comments, as some suggest his remarks are insensitive. I'm Wild Young, and that was the TMZ Minute.
Fox Weather.
I'm Fox Weather meteorologist Ari Sarsalari, and here's the latest from America's Weather Center. So we're going to have some on and off showers around parts of the Great Lakes today. Be prepared for that. I know we started off the day with some showers and thunderstorms around Chicago, led to a couple of delays at the airports there. Not really expecting much as far as severe weather goes. I think a bigger story is just the amount of cold air that's moved into really the eastern half of the United States, and it's going to continue to spread over the next few days. By the time we get to Thursday morning, places like, let's say, Asheville, North Carolina, where there's still a lot of recovery going on after the devastating flooding, you guys will be down in the low 30s, maybe even upper 20s. So temperatures more typical for about mid to late November. Very, very cold for this time of year. And we could see some snowflakes as well up in some of the higher elevations, especially west of Asheville, out around the Gatlinburg area, the Smoky Mountains. Not a huge amount of snow, but it is that time of year where it can get cold enough for that. Remember, get the latest weather updates anytime, anywhere. Just download the Fox Weather app at foxweather.com.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network, subscribe and listen to the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Former federal prosecutor and 4-term U.S. Congressman from South Carolina brings you a one-of-a-kind podcast. Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
The day of Kamalanomics. I'm Therese Crowley, Fox News. 3 weeks to Election Day. The unexpected Democrat nominee, Kamala Harris, starting to detail economics for black men whose support is fading from the VP as more jump ship for Donald Trump's economic plans. Harris visiting Detroit today.
She unveiled her opportunity agenda for black men yesterday, starting with $20,000 in forgivable government loans for 1 million minorities to start businesses, as well as education, training, and mentorship programs, creating a framework for cryptocurrency, launching health initiatives, and legalizing marijuana. It comes as the New York Times poll shows just how much black voters have drifted from Democrats, from 92% in 2016 to 90% in 2020, down to just 78% today. The Pew Research Center says it drops even more drastic at 22 points since 2016.
She'll appear in a radio sit-down with the influential Charlemagne the God, who can make or scar candidates, like the infamous Joe Biden interview where Biden said, if you're having trouble deciding against Trump, then you ain't black. Donald Trump in Chicago today, where he'll blame Kamalanomics for the rampant inflation and interest rates, making America unaffordable. Last night in suburban Philly.
Former President Donald Trump holding a town hall alongside South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Trump taking the opportunity to lay out his energy agenda.
We have more liquid gold under our feet than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than any other country. I'm going to bring down your energy costs 50% in the first year. 50%.
However, less than an hour into the event, the town hall was interrupted when 2 separate members of the crowd had medical emergencies, forcing Trump to cut the night short.
And Trump had music for the crowds during the medical emergencies, including Ave Maria. He campaigns in Atlanta tonight. America is listening to Fox News.
Jason in the House, the Jason Chaffetz Podcast. Dive deeper than the headlines and the party lines as I take on American life, politics, and entertainment. Subscribe now on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Fox Fox News Power Rankings out today show presidential candidate Kamala Harris losing the lead over Donald Trump.
7 states worth 93 electoral votes are in toss-up territory in the latest power rankings. Vice President Harris leads in enough states to net 226 electoral votes. Former President Trump has the advantage in enough states to carry 219 electoral votes, both well short of the 270 needed to claim the White House. Former President Trump is gaining ground among black and Hispanic voters, and there is a significant gender gap, with men shifting towards the former president, women shifting towards the vice president. 3 weeks before election night, more than 4 million Americans have already cast ballots, and early voting is underway in all but one of the 7 toss-up states. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
And with polls tight as a tick, Vice President Harris sits down for her first interview with Fox News. An exclusive Wednesday at 6 Eastern on Special Report with Brett Baer. Nearly 250,000 Florida residents told to expect their power to mostly be restored by today. But thousands more in Florida and North Carolina still in disaster mode after back-to-back hurricanes. Fox Weather's Robert Ray reporting from Venice Beach, Florida.
Nearly 200,000 customers still without power here on the Gulf Coast this morning. And yes, debris piles exist here in Venice Beach. And there is some confusion on the ground as millions of people are still reeling with the insides of their homes and businesses having to be ripped out. In the meantime, insurance claims are skyrocketing and people are looking for FEMA sites to fill out the applications. Fuel is still a priority here on the ground as not only Milton but Helene ravaged this entire peninsula of Florida, and there's a lot of work and recovery to do.
And another Florida death reported from Hurricane Milton, now 23. I'm Therese Crowley. This is Fox News.
Pull up a chair and join me, Rachel Campos Duffy.
And me, former U.S. Congressman Sean Duffy, as we share our perspective on the discussions happening at kitchen tables across America.
Download From the Kitchen Table, The Duffys, at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download podcasts.
I'm Bill Hemmer.
I'm Janice Dean.
I'm Juan Williams, and this is the Fox News Rundown.
Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. I'm John Saucier. American military power on display in the Middle East. That's the sound of the U.S. Navy firing off a guided missile destroyer to go and help intercept a barrage of Iranian missiles heading into Israel. The United States playing a crucial role this week and saving lives.
The U.S. Navy, I think, has been the unsung hero of the last year. Those interceptions have been absolutely crucial, and it's almost become routine at this point, but there's nothing routine about what those U.S. Navy vessels are doing.
This is the Fox News Rundown, Evening Edition.
Hi, everybody. It's Brian Kilmeade. I want you to join me weekdays at 9 a.m. East as we break down the biggest stories of the day with some of the biggest newsmakers and, of course, what you think.
Listen live or get the podcast now at BrianKilmeadShow.com.
The situation in the Middle East seems only to be getting worse, especially after Iran fired hundreds of ballistic missiles into Israel on Tuesday. Now the world is wondering, how might Israel respond? In an emergency UN Security Council meeting, Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, says they will respond and that their plans will be, quote, painful.
Israel will defend itself. We will act. And let me assure you, the consequences Iran will face for their actions will be far greater than they could ever have imagined.